What's going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with RK Outpost and GeeksGamers.com, and there are a lot of unwritten rules in sports, not just on the field or on the court or on the ice, but also as a fan, especially when it comes to baseball. And one of those unwritten rules is that if you are in a city where there are two baseball teams, you can't just be a fan of both. You can't just be a Mets fan and a Yankees fan at the same time. Most hardcore fans are going to want you to choose one. Choose one and then despise the other. And as someone who grew up near Chicago, grew up a Cubs fan, I despise the White Sox. And in my opinion, that's how it should be. But not everybody's going to follow these rules. Not everybody's going to have the same experience. So when Barstool's White Sox Dave, obviously a big White Sox fan, confronted John Cusack about coming to and cheering for the White Sox in the playoff game against the Astros last night, John Cusack had some words for him. They exchanged words. They had a little issue, and then it continued over on Twitter. I want you guys to watch this because although I kind of agree, in principle, I agree with White Sox Dave that you should choose one. I think that everybody should choose one. John Cusack has his certain experiences, his certain stories, and then he kind of makes White Sox Dave look like an idiot by schooling him on White Sox knowledge. Now, if you don't know, John Cusack is a big Cubs fan. I've seen John Cusack at a lot of Cubs events. He's always there. He's a big Cubs fan, but he's also a White Sox fan as well. We're going to get into that a little bit. But breaking, this is from Barstool Chicago, White Sox Dave just confronted actor John Cusack to tell him he's not allowed to cheer for the White Sox. And this is what a lot of the conversation has been about today surrounding John Cusack, about gatekeeping fandom. Let's watch this play out.
Step up! Guys, step up!
You're on my back. Hey, step up.
So Dave goes up to him. John Cusack maybe thinks he just knows him and wants a fist bump, whatever. And then it continues to evolve.
The White Sox bandwagon. You can't root for the Cubs.
He says, you're on the White Sox bandwagon. You root for the Cubs and then you come over here.
I can't collect the movie.
I know you did, but
you can't tell me where. I collect wherever I want. Who was the first baseman in 1983?
Was it Ron Kittle?
No, Mike Squires.
Mike Squires.
That means you're off.
But I'm younger than that.
So the first thing John Cusack says, I could root for whoever the fuck I want. Who was the White Sox first baseman in 1983? White Sox Dave gives the wrong answer. John Cusack schools him. And he says, but I'm younger than that. John Cusack says, it doesn't matter.
That proves your ignorance.
That's not ignorance.
Yeah, you know who Lamar Odom was?
Lamar Odom?
Lamar Hoyt.
Yeah, of course I know.
You know who Oscar Gamble was?
Yes.
I know all of them.
I know all those guys too.
I think it proves your ignorance.
But I mean, you can't. It's all about.
I made a movie about it.
Half the fun about being a fan is being miserable. You can't just go to the Cubs side when
I went to the both parks growing up.
But that doesn't count. You can't do that.
I went to both parks growing up. Now, I again, in principle, I agree with White Sox Dave. As a Cubs fan, fuck the White Sox. I fucking hate the White Sox. You're never going to catch me rooting for the fucking White Sox. I think that's blasphemous. But at the same time, I did also have people growing up that did root for both. Maybe because they didn't care about it that much. Maybe they had one parent that was a White Sox fan, one parent that was a Cubs fan, right? I knew a lot of those people growing up. Didn't like it, but I knew a lot of them.
That's like against the rules. That's the best part of having in Chicago is that you got two teams to root for.
We'll have to agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree, I guess, but I think it's
You have to live.
Stinks. Cusack, he's banned. He's number one on my ban list.
So White Sox Dave puts him on the banned list. And a lot of people's reaction to this was, White Sox Dave, why would you post yourself getting bodied by John Cusack and kind of schooled on White Sox knowledge and then tweet it out there? And it continued on to Twitter. Look at the article. Our foul little boy, White Sox Dave, finally got to confront John Cusack about being a pink hat, and John Cusack comes back hard. And he did. Because they decided to post it, right? It would have been nothing, right? I don't think John Cusack would have fucking cared about this, but it got posted, and then White Sox Dave continued. I think he said something like, at John Cusack can suck my balls or something like that. Patricia Arquette got into it for some reason. John Cusack, don't come for grown men, end of story. And now look at Cusack. Look at these responses. Cusack versus White Sox Dave. White Sox Dave says, the amount of people defending Cusack for being a total pink hat makes me sick. I'm about to puke all over this Uber. Also, I knew Billy Squires was the Sox first baseman. And it's not Billy, it's Mike. John Cusack, no you didn't. It's Mike Squires, left-handed first baseman, you stupid fuck. Fat... And he just keeps going. He just keeps retweeting his tweets and blasting him. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life. Sox are from Chicago. They played way longer than your 24 years on Earth. Hang in there. You can even graduate to become a man one day when you stop humiliating yourself in public. Mike, you raving colossal idiot. Billy was a singer. You're just a drunk boy. And, like, it just continued on and on and on. When it comes to, like, he was responding to people, he was retweeting people. John Cusack was all over it. Now, I think White Sox Dave, as much of an idiot as he made himself look, he does have a point. Like I said, I kind of agree with him in principle. And I think the reason that John Cusack is going so hard on Twitter is because maybe he feels a little bit too. If you are from the Chicago area and you grow up with a team, you know that there are so many people that despise the White Sox. If you're a Cubs fan, you know there's so many people that despise the White Sox. If you're a White Sox fan, you know that so many people in the White Sox fan base despise the Cubs. So maybe it's a little bit of sensitivity from John Cusack in that regard. But I just thought it was funny and an interesting topic in sports, in fandom. I want to know what you guys think. Is it okay to root for both of these teams? Is it okay to be a fan of one team, but also a fan of one of their biggest crosstown rivals? You know, to me, I'm on White Sox Dave's side as far as principle goes, but the way he went about it and embarrassed himself was fucking hilarious. But that's what Barstool is. Barstool gets involved in this stuff, and it is great. They're going to feed off of it. White Sox Dave is going to feed off of it, and it's going to be all good things for Barstool. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.